That one over there is the STR. This is the Titan, and this is the 120 Professional. And people ask, what should they get? We already covered the STR in depth. This series is brought to you by Amped Outdoors lithium batteries. Simply the best batteries you could buy with your money. Down there in the description, I have a special affiliate link with a coupon code that is going to save you 10% of your order. So make sure you use that so you'll save yourself some money and also support this channel. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some kayaks. So David, these two are, let's talk about how they're similar first.
Well, they both have a pedal drive system. These are both designed for pedaling. You got Old Town with a really good pedal drive system. You have Native with a really good pedal drive system. They're both really good boats. They're both made in America.
High quality stuff. The drive, each of them have what, like a 5-year warranty on?
It's a good warranty on them. We don't have any issues or problems with them. They both have a nice high seat in it. There are some differences in them. Totally. One that I like, I told you that I like it, is because of the 360 feature.
There you go.
In the Titan. So, and the reason you want that, I like it, is if you hook a fish and he starts running behind you, you can follow him all the way around the boat and fish all the way around the boat and not be going like this.
And guess what? After me, I'm getting up there in age. I know how valuable that is, because you don't want to twist your back. It's not like
this was a missed opportunity, I think, by not having a 360 seat. But it's a nice seat, though.
You mentioned that it's a missed opportunity by Old Town, and it's true. I completely agree. Something that Crescent Kayak just did is that they will offer you the boat with their seat as a package, but then you could adapt this seat, an aftermarket seat, on the boat. And I think Old Town could do that, because if you look at the tracks,
but you wouldn't need to do that from Crescent, because you can get this from Native already.
Exactly. It's already built in, but at least you have the option, right?
Yeah. One thing I like that is also on this boat is that I like an internal rudder system versus an external rudder system. Because this, and it works good, but you have a lot of hardware exposed out here. This can catch on fishing lines and just catch on other stuff. You can break it when you're loading it in the car.
Yeah, if you're backing up,
Versus, if you can look down underneath there, you have an internal rudder system. So, and it actually goes up into, watch it. See it go up? So now it's flush up into the hull, and it's very, very easy to add a motor to the back here if you wanted to add that motor. Again, and just pin the motor forward so you can steer it. You have your left and right steering. Here, you can't really put a motor dead center on the back of this, because it's been taking the place with the external rudder system. So I like internal rudder systems, and you're seeing this on a lot of the boats coming out. Yes, they stole it from Hobie. Hobie had it first, and they still have it, but that's what they're adopting, and I think that this is where it needs to go. So this was another missed opportunity.
You see what I mean? Hobie was a first.
They were. They
need to come back and be a first again.
Be first again.
So there are people that love and hate that style, and there are people that love and hate this style too. I agree, there should be an easier way to remove that rudder and put a rear motor if you want, a plate or something that is easy to do. This is a problem if you want to put the NK300 on the back. You're going to have to put it on the side, offset it a little bit. It works, but it's not going to be as nice or efficient as here. But I think we're talking about splitting hairs, basically.
Yeah.
But it looks kind of awkward, though, that you have the motor on the side. Like, it looks like a rookie installation, so I agree with you on that. They should have done something better with the rudder, but, you know, they're a company after all. They have to make money, and they probably have a lot of these. So why recreate a brand new rudder system? You remember the old days, Native had a lot of issues with rudders before.
They did. They had to work out a lot of problems, as with every company.
Exactly.
There's a lot of problems.
This one here, the Old Town one, it feels like it just works. It turns quickly. That one is a different mechanism, and one of the problems that we're having is this right here. You see how much they added extra line and the disc to make it turn better?
You're right, it is a slower turn. It's a slower turn. But that's because the rudder itself is not hanging off of the back. It's more back in here, so it's different.
I do believe that Old Town should have put the bigger rudder here, the one from the autopilot, because it's gonna make it turn easier. This works fine if the conditions are fine, but once you get there on a high current area, you're gonna wish you had a wider rudder. Now, look, I'm seeing something here. You see here in the back, you got the tracks.
You do have track and grab handles.
There you go. And they also serve to add the power pole or whatever you want to do. But then the tracks sort of stop here. They don't go all the way back. The Old Town goes all the way back.
They do have tracks in the back, yep. They run all the way rear, so.
Both of them have the insert, so that's no biggie. Now, Old Town has a bigger tank well, but that's because Native decided to do
Put a battery box, a bigger battery box.
Put a battery inside the hole. It's a good and bad idea because not all the batteries will fit in here, but if you have a battery that does fit, it may be a better idea. But I mean, I was talking about that on another boat that we compare. I sort of like to have the tank well here open.
Yeah.
It
gives you more room, just working room.
Exactly. I could put the black pack. I could put a cooler. I could put a battery here. They designed this to take a battery box. You could just drop it in. You put your bow motor. You trim the boat. Over here, it goes there. That's it. That's where it goes. Although you could make a black pack from.
You could still put a battery in the back of this.
Right, but then this becomes useless space.
Right. It's much cleaner and easier to go ahead and use the space that you have here. They put a strap inside, and so.
I think it's one of those things. What do you like about it? How you like to use it? So I do like open spaces. That's my thing. Now we already touched on the seat. Definitely having the 360 seat is a huge advantage. Also having the tray underneath the seat is also a huge advantage. Like
they did some good things very similar. You notice when we were talking about the rod holders earlier, they both have two rear and then one forward facing rod holder.
But that's another thing that this
nice.
one wins. Look at how nice it looks.
Yeah.
It looks like it's not.
This is more flush, but it's there.
It's there.
My point is, it's there.
Well, the thing is that
I have to add it later.
I have a beef with this rudder.
You do?
Yeah. You know why?
What's
not
that?
rudder. With
rod
this
holder.
flush mounted rod holder. I had a $300 combo in there, and the rod is very smooth and solid. It doesn't have anything to grab it, and a fish took it, and it took the whole rod.
You need leashes.
Exactly. I don't know if this one would have been any different, but hey, you know, that happened.
That
so
can happen.
I use the rod holders on my black pack for now.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about steering. I think that one steer a little better. It's shorter turn. This one over here doesn't have anything to hold it, but it's very rigid. Old Town did add control there. See, you could like
have some play.
Yeah, needs some adjustment, but like this, you could like add tension to it. Right? You could put your paddle right here. Native, the idea with the Native is that
the Native actually does have a paddle holder. I just didn't put them on yet.
right, you
They
split
come
it.
with
You split it. You split the paddle and put it on the back.
Yeah, they come here when you buy it new. It comes with these are paddle holders. I just haven't put them on there yet.
So you got more gear tracks over here, and cup holder here too. Now something the Native has too is that you see it has a cutout for the tackle tray. I use tackle trays a lot. So that's another.
And you have the tackle tray underneath the seat.
Exactly.
So there's no tray under here. This one comes, you get this with it.
When it comes to the rigging plates, they have a different idea. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. You got these big ones that you could like cut out and do stuff to it. But Old Town added the through holes already done for you. So the way that they designed this is super easy to motorize this vessel. Like it's easy to go ahead, open this giant hatch, put the cable through, run it all the way to the back, and put your bow mounted trolling motor. Right here, this is designed to take a Minn Kota or Moto Guy right from the factory. This one over here, I think you have to do more work. You're probably gonna have to put a plate on it and then build up on top of it, but that's not a big deal. But again, that one is already ready to go. Now, David, I don't think you've been on this boat because it's brand new.
No, I haven't actually been on this one.
I've been on both of them, and I feel, and I could be wrong, I feel like this one is an easier boat to pedal and paddle than the Titan. It could also be that the day that I tested the Titan, it was in open water in our lake, in the lake that you have over there, and it was rough. So maybe
it's rough today too.
Yeah,
we're gonna go out later on. So did you make a note of the pedals, the differences in the pedals themselves?
And we're back here after a period of technical issues. So
Technical
David, you were
difficulties.
talking about the drives.
I was talking about there's some differences in these pedal drives, Alex. There's in particular was the pedal itself. So on the Propel, they use like a real bicycle pedal. It's made out of metal. Is that metal or graphite?
Yeah, it's metal.
It's a graphite.
No,
But
it's plastic actually.
it's a graphite. But they include these little screws that can go through the pedal, which if you had shoes on, they wouldn't slip off of here. So you can put them on here. I personally don't like to use them because I might go barefoot.
Yeah.
And if you're barefoot, you do not want to have these on the pedal, but they give them to you with every boat. That is versus this, which is a much smaller pedal, which is doesn't have the option of putting anything on there. And it's just smaller, so I think I like to have a bigger surface area for my foot than a smaller surface area. So that's one difference. Also on these drives, these propellers, they put, there's a little ring right here, if you noticed on the Native. This right here will help clear weeds. If you get weeds on here and then you reverse it back into that, it'll help cut them off, versus the Old Town doesn't really have one. But this is a floating drive system. So it floats if it was to drop in the water. This is a sinking drive system, which is going to sink if you drop in the water. So don't drop them in the water.
Don't drop them. But the odds of one of these things falling in,
It doesn't happen. Yeah,
they're
Don't take it-
super
don't take it
secure
out.
there.
Yeah, you're not going to want to take it out.
I mean, I could see it happen where they take the drive out because they're doing something and a boat passes by and it falls in.
Yeah,
But like the odds of that are like,
but
play the lotto.
they're both very, very smooth drive systems.
Oh yeah,
They're quiet. They're
instant
smooth,
reverse,
They have instant reverse. So
5-year
you'd
warranty.
be happy with either one of these drive systems. This one here, I was just, you turn it. You really don't hear a lot of noise from either one of these.
No,
so.
no, you don't. And what I love about this is that if I want to bring it up, I should say, it's easy. I just
Lift
set
it
this
up.
loose, lift it. That one over there, you do have to play.
You would have to align the prop. So when it's down, you would hold this down, align the prop, and then lift it up.
Boom. So extra
It's
step,
not-
but
it's not that
it's not
hard
a
to
deal breaker or anything like that.
Yeah, it's an extra step.
Another thing is, well, here in the Titan, it just like if you're gonna remove it, it's just gonna have to stay there,
Yeah.
and you have
But it
to.
does come out easy. It's just two little levers,
True.
and then it's just removed. So
But for example, you have this, like you have to remove this and put it back.
yeah, that's a cover.
That's a cover, and it could be annoying. Over here, you don't have that, but you do have a giant hole. So if the drive is up, all this area here is gonna be floated with water, right?
Yeah.
And the problem with that is if you have stuff under the seat and you don't have anything holding it, you may lose some of the stuff. So you gotta be mindful of that. So all of them have their pros and cons when it comes to the drive system. But comment below, let me know which of these two boats you're gonna get and why, and go watch another one of the videos that we filmed here today.